Good morning, Sue. You're S9. Nice to hear you.
Yeah, good morning, Sue.
Good to be heard.
Hey, good morning, Sue.
Good morning, sounding good down here.
Yeah, you sound good up here, Sue.
Good morning, Dan.
Yeah, good morning, Sue.
Morning, Ben.
That leaves the infamous K4 CCF.
Not yet.
Oh, he's making an order for that AOR.
That's exactly what it is. He's going to have to use it in private so none of us can see him do it.
That's it.
Let's see, the woodpecker's running an S6 now. I talked with Gilbert, Arizona.
What was that about Gilbert, Arizona there, bud?
Yeah, 10 meters was open yesterday, and I talked with Gilbert, Arizona.
Wow, congratulations.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because I didn't see 10 open yesterday.
I was just monitoring 28.4, and I was calling C2, so I gave him a call.
Hey, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And there's also a guy on there from Colorado.
Well, you know what they say, you're not going to catch any fish unless you have a hook in the water.
That's quite true. You know what they also say, too, is love is blind and marriage is a successful eye doctor. Oh, bud. That's a groaner.
That last little bit of coffee. 6L.
Yeah, my second kept here.
I'm on the first. I've got half of my first gone.
Well, when you get older, that's why you need two women. So when you fall asleep, you'll have someone to talk to.
I thought he was going to say he wanted to fall asleep with, the other one to wake up with.
No, that's something John Lennon would say. Oh, well, guys, nice day. We had 70 degrees yesterday out here and got a lot of yard work done. And today's supposed to be even nicer, so we're really looking forward to it. It was just absolutely beautiful.
Had a howling wind. The sun was out, but the last couple of days it's just been blowing.
It was lovely here. We got a bunch of yard work done too, and supposed to be 87 or something like that today here.
You know,
break out the sunblock.
Yeah, it's supposed to be warm down here, but right now it's nice and cool and cloudy outside.
It's supposed to be 96 in Sac.
You know, Saturday it was like 50 degrees and cold and cloudy all day and raining off and on. And I talked to Mom, and it was 88 degrees at her house in Sacramento.
Yeah, it's been warm on and off. It's been lovely here, thankfully.
Yeah, we're in that small period of time where we enjoy the weather.
This is good. Yeah, I'm liking it. I've got all the yard furniture set up now. You know, it's looking good.
I bet your place is, John.
Real pretty. All the flowers are in bloom. You know, it's just gorgeous.
You certainly have a nice yard, John.
Well, thanks. Yeah, she's made it really, really nice, and it just gets better every year.
All ready for the summer barbecue.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the barbecue. I guess I could put that together. As soon as I'm sure the rain's over, I'll put all the burners back in. Good morning.
Hey,
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Jim.
Oh, wow. Nice conditions except for the radar, and I can hear everybody well. K4CCF. Glad to be here.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, same thing here. It's really pounding in here.
Yeah, good morning, Jim. I could just hear it in the background, but it's not loud here.
Yeah, I don't hear it loud here either. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, everybody.
But you have a nice signal in here from the 70s, Jim.
Well, that was a nice triple or maybe a quadruple. I didn't understand anybody.
Perfect.
Said you had a
I
nice
wasn't
signal
in on
from the
that.
70s.
For a change. You know, you said Happy Memorial Day to all. Yes, that's what Bud said. Happy Memorial Day to all. I salute you all.
Well, thank you all for serving, and I'll be putting my flag back out here in a little bit.
Yeah, I got to put mine out, too. Yep. It's all ready to go. Gotta go hang it up on the pole.
I actually had it out yesterday all day, too.
You fly yours every day, is that what you said, John?
That's right.
Way to go, John. Now, you know what? My grandparents, they flew their flag about every day, and they all had flag stickers on their car, you know, just a really nice little one. They were very patriotic.
Well, good for them.
Yeah.
And good for you, John.
Well, thanks. Yeah, it's just something we've always done.
That's great. It makes me proud to fly the flag outside.
I'm afraid I'll forget it at night, and I do, too, so, and you're not supposed to have it out at night unless it's lit.
No, you know, Denny, I've got solar lights on mine, so if the weather's nice, I can leave it out all night.
The batteries don't go out. I mean, nobody's going to shoot you, but that's just not proper etiquette. Supposed to be illuminated.
But Denny, I have those solar lights, and I have them mounted to where a lot of times I will fly the flag all night because it'll stay light with the solar lights.
Oh, that's good.
It's pretty cool, you know. If the weather's good, I'll leave it out.
Good for you.
And those lights will hold enough charge to run all night?
You know, Jim, they do. It's pretty amazing.
You bought some higher quality lights than we did.
Yeah, us too.
No, I didn't buy them, Jim. The guy that owned this house before me, he flew the flag every day, and those were the lights that he left behind.
Oh.
So I just used them.
The ones that we bought are apparently made of Chinesium, and they just don't last more than a couple of hours after sunset.
I like that, Chinesium.
Yeah, Chinesium doesn't store much electricity.
No kidding.
Well, Jim uses those high-tech engineering words like unobtainium.
Yeah, he and I both use non-obtainium. I like that.
What was the one for aluminum, Jim?
Say again, Dan?
What was your pronunciation for aluminum?
Aluminium?
That's it.
Yeah, that sounds like the Canadians and the English.
A.
Well, my mother was English.
Oh, very good.
I'm surprised that Jim has such a civil word for labor.
Well, if the signals were stronger, it would be a wonderful day in the neighborhood. But I'll just settle for a beautiful day in the neighborhood with a noise level of 2-ish and stay at 6,000 hertz.
KM6CQ here.
K4CCF.
WB7EGT.
And W6DAX.
Oh, Denny got loud all of a sudden.
Did I? Oh.
Yeah, the S-meter contest, Denny.
Oh, thank you. I do once in a while, don't I?
What are you running this morning?
I'm running the Omni 6 with the amplifier. Running 1,000 watts, just about 1,000.
20 over and do not turn it down.
No, thank you.
I like it that way.
Me too. I'm squeezing out all this 3 by 5 will do. Well, right now you win the F-meter contest over here.
Well, Denny, it's kind of like this. You know, there's free speech, and you have a right to say anything you want, but you got to work to be heard, and you're doing the job.
Thanks, man. I can't take credit for it. The antenna is John and Scott's wonderful job, and Lloyd's wire. Lloyd's 22-gauge copper weld.
Well, we can't give credit to Scott because he's not here to give credit to, so we'll just have to give the credit to you and John.
Oh. Well, I helped measure.
You had as much in it as the rest of us. Scott was the guy that did all the work.
Oh, he did, yeah. Clambers up them trees and branches go flying, and it's a thing of beauty to watch.
When he climbed up the tree here, he went so far up he was out of sight.
Oh, I'll bet. Didn't quite cut that here. I have immature. Thanks to Mother Nature and her fire capabilities about 20 years ago. But we did the best we could. And they did. And the results turned out, so. Even works pretty good on 160, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't change a thing, Jimmy. It's working okay.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't have the reach on the higher bands like yours does because it's height off the ground, but of course that would be better on the lower bands too. But we're happy to have it.
We're happy that you have it.
Take care of our upper bands.
Later, the people over in Santa Rosa, they said, that about 200 and some of them are, rebuilding their homes. And the rest of the, 20-some hundred of them are in insurance limbo. So I looked that up. What I ended up finding out was most of those people are underinsured or were underinsured. That they're claiming that the cost to rebuild starts at $280 a square foot.
Oh my God.
And that some of them go as high as $600 a square foot.
Yeah, that's what you get for the Bay Area.
Well, that's well north of the Bay Area.
Yeah, it is. It's
by some of that.
Bill,
be going in and checking my insurance. I know that I increased it. I'm going to check into our area to see what today's rebuilding prices are because I don't want to be caught in that same issue.
Oh, none of us do. I need to have mine checked again. They were pretty good 2 years ago, but
you can't count on the insurance company.
No, you can't. We'll have to have it checked again.
Insurance company is basically what they said. Well, you had the option to increase your insurance, and you didn't. And the people said, well, wait a minute. You told us this was adequate to rebuild our home.
Probably 20 years ago.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, well, I think you're right, John. It's up to you to make sure it's done right.
That's right.
To get your fine back up.
Yeah, they figured when we bought it, the cost of rebuilding, and then we added more when we put the shack on, the radio shack.
Yeah, you don't want to end up building a tiny home.
No, you want to go back. The assurance is to put you back where you were. That's what its purpose is. If you can't do that, not good.
Well, 2/3 of the people are in that situation.
That's sad.
That's interesting, though, John, because either they're very complacent or the insurance companies misrepresented what they were selling.
Well, that's the issue at this point. A lot of people are saying, wait a minute, you told us this is adequate to rebuild our home because our land was worth this amount of money. And turns out that isn't the case.
That's going to be a tough one, John, because, obviously there's an issue if there's that many people, but I'm sure it's very diverse as far as the companies go, so they're not going to be able to put the blame on any one person. I don't. It's going to be that's going to court, but they're going to have to.
That USAA is one of the companies, so you wouldn't expect that.
No, you wouldn't.
Hooray, hooray, the woodpecker's gone. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't hear it anymore, but boy.
Gone completely.
Oh, how about that?
You know, John, I use State Farm, and one of the reasons is I would expect that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I've had State Farm since I was an adult.
However, that doesn't mean that's true.
That's true. That's right.
Yeah, so one of the first things I'll be doing tomorrow is checking the cost to rebuild in this area, see how that lines up with what I have.
Thank you for mentioning that, John, because I'm going to do that too.
And darn right.
Why have insurance if you're not insured properly?
Yeah, I just paid it too, so I'm gonna get that underway. It's just a phone call away.
I guess I'll call my realtor. He would have a pretty good idea what the actual cost is.
I mean, that'll be based on the house and the property. So I'm going to check some building companies and see what they're charging to rebuild, and I'll, state what type of house I have and the upgrades in it.
Yeah.
And make sure that we can build at least what we have.
For sure.
Well, that's why I always keep like 5 extra rolls of antenna wire in case I have to rebuild. I mean, restring.
Your priorities, right?
Well, I'd hate to have to go to field operations, but I would if I had to.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful out there this morning. I'm looking out over the lake. It's gorgeous.
Oh. It's cool here, but I didn't look at the temperature, but it's been like in the high 40s in the spring.
That's probably what we have, Denny.
I think it's 58 here.
I need to buy...
Mid-50s here in this time of the morning. It's getting up into the 70s during the day.
I need to put a weather station in here like Scott has. I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Do you have a weather station, John?
I do have one of sorts. It's a Home Depot one, with an external monitor and stuff, but nothing like Scott has. No rain gauge, none of that kind of stuff. I just figure, hey, if I need that, I can go right to the site here in this county and look at it any time.
Yeah, I don't really want to spend $1,000 to do it, because really what I'm after all the time is temperature and humidity. But it'd be fun to have and let it forward automatically.
We bought one because we wanted an anemometer. I wanted to know how high are the winds that we get through here, because sometimes they just sound really fierce.
Well, over here, that's proportional to my mouth, so I already know.
Well, it's windy there most of the time, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah. There's always a breeze.
We have our little breeze in the morning. It's usually like 6 to 8 miles an hour, and then it tapers off.
Well, it gets, it's usually calm every morning, and then there's a little breeze in the afternoon. It's pretty much like Spanish Springs was.
This one starts about 2 in the morning. It's just the natural downdraft from the, the Sierras behind us. It's a flow that goes from usually the southeast.
Yeah, every morning here, it's usually calm. It's still. And, by late afternoon, as the temperatures change and stuff, we'll get the a nice little breeze. It's not really windy, it's just a breeze. It's pretty nice. There are times where it'll blow all night long when the storms come through.
Yeah, I guess they're going to be getting it in the south. They've had their share of weather back east.
Man, there's a lot of static crashes last night on the air here.
Yeah, it was quite a bit of noise.
It was all over the place. Well, I had a lot of fun in the contest. The bands weren't really that great. Mostly everybody was on 20, but I ended up making 209 contacts, and I ended up with a couple of G4s, which was kind of cool, a G6, a G5. You know, so for me to work England's kind of rare. And then my last contact at the day, the minute before the contact was over, or the contest was over, I snagged Bangladesh.
Oh, very good.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, congratulations. What's their prefix, Bangladesh? I don't remember.
It was like SR8 or something like that, SR1.
So India is still VU, I think, but I wasn't sure what Bangladeshi was, so that's great. Good job, Dan.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a nice time. And I got a couple emails from guys watching me work the contest because, you know, these days you can run a leaderboard if you want to participate with that so everybody else can see what you're doing and you can see what they're doing. So a couple other flex operators were watching what I was doing, knowing I was running a flex. That was kind of fun.
Well, you're my hero, Dan. You're the operator I would like to be.
Oh, shucks, Denny.
Yeah, that's true. I wish I could run CW like that.
Yeah, the truth is, you know, 32 words a minute is not hard when you're using software because software's doing most of the work for you. You know, I mean, you got to listen, but you don't have to pound the key. You let the keyboard do that.
Some stuff like that. I just think that's amazing.
You doubled.
No, I said, sorry. I'm just amazed at how you can pick out call signs and pilots like that, or know and hear your call, even when they're running split.
Well, the difference is you know what to expect. There's a format that's followed, so you know what's coming and when it's coming, so it makes it a lot easier.
I don't think you're running split in these contests.
Well, I doubt that. Not on CW, but it's quite common on phone.
But it was, you know, I mean, I think I don't really compete. I don't have a contest station, but what I get out of it is I get to make a lot of contacts all over the place in a short amount of time, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
I probably worked 60 countries yesterday or last weekend, and maybe got a few new ones out of it. But it's just fun to be able to do that.
Wow.
That's
very good, especially with just the loop antenna.
Yeah, and it was all done on 20 and 40 meters, because that was really all that was really working good. I probably made about 10 or 15 contacts on 15. I made one on 10 with a guy in Minden, KN7NV, and that was my only 10-meter contact.
Do you use your loop for all of those?
I do.
I wonder what your actual ERP is when you have a return loss of 3 dB.
I don't know. It varies by bands because, like on 10 meters and 15, actually 15, there's some actual resonance spots where you don't need the tuner. And 10 is pretty close too, but 40 is pretty bad.
I would think it'd be really low. Area though.
Well, it just shows you what you can do. If you can put 500 watts into something and get 50 watts out of it, that's pretty amazing that it works.
Yeah. And they end up being a quiet antenna, too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one nice thing about it. Well, that's okay. I'm going to start work on my resident antenna that's in the box and get it going.
Oh, man. Yeah, you've had that for a couple of years now, haven't you?
Yeah, about a year. I think I bought it, it'd be 2 years ago this summer.
Oh, really? That long? Time goes by.
Well, I bought it. Well, there's a long story to it, but anyway, it's time to put it up. So I got to get my antenna specialist over here.
I'll be happy to help you, and I'm sure Scott will.
Yeah, well, I'm probably going to need the manpower to get it up. I'll do all the tedious work laying it out, but I don't think I'll be able to pull it up myself.
Well, it'll not only be easier, it'll be safer.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that too, John.
Yeah, I mean, you want it to actually get up and not get broken.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to have to get out of the way as it's coming down.
Well, Scott helped me with mine because he didn't let me actually put it on the tower, which was irritated me, but nonetheless, he did a great job as always.
Oh, yeah.
Sure did a wonderful job here.
And here.
I was so amazed when he stood up on top of my tower and lifted that mast right straight out of there that I had put the wrong one in. And that thing is heavy. And that Scott is very strong.
Oh, yeah, he works at it.
Yeah, he lifted that thing straight up, and it's a piece of thick wall pipe is what it was. Oh, actually, EMT, heavy EMT though.
You went back and beefed up the under eaves connection, right?
Yeah, I did that. It's all double braced now.
Oh, good.
And the tower's usually down most of the time. If I'm going to operate for a while, then I put it up, and the weather's decent. So it's not up during any windstorms or anything. I just wish it was motorized. That would be a lot better.
Yeah, you'd probably need to use a different tower.
Oh, yeah. But this one, the price was right.
Well, I'll bet, yeah.
And that's a big antenna for that entire tower, but it seems to work just fine. And it's actually it would be for a quad perfect antenna because they work good close to the ground. And you talk about a quiet antenna, a cubicle quad is very quiet.
I mean, your antenna is essentially what mine is.
Yep.
But your boom is, gosh, what is it? At least 6 feet longer, or is it 10 feet longer? Mine's 14. What's yours?
24.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 10 feet longer, so much better front to back and like a dB and a half more gain forward.
Yeah. It works quite well. I'm very pleased with it. And it should last as long as I do, being made by Mosley.
Yeah, nice company.
Super duty.
Well, I'm looking at my noise floor this morning. It's just sitting there right around minus maybe 114 dBm. It's really nice.
Oh, that's really low.
That is down.
And it was so high when I went to bed last night.
We're supposed to have thunderstorms again this week. A couple nights. Evenings.
Mine is 105. I just switched over to the SDR to look at it.
When I was driving to work the other day, it was raining hard. I was driving under these high tension lines, and 10 over 9 was the noise level, John.
Yeah, I get that here occasionally, if it rains.
That reminded me, that must be what John's experiencing when it rains.
Not very pleasant.
I was on 75 meters.
Typically, I can hear as well as anyone else.
Yeah, you do good.
I'll be back. ES6LJ.
Okie dokie.
K4CCF.
And WB7EGG.
KM6CQ.
And W6DAX in Placerville.
And Jim, where are you?
Oh, I ID'd.
Oh, did you? I must be gone deaf for a second. I had one of those blank moments, I guess.
I tell you what, Denny, just for you. K4CCF.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
What are you on this morning, Jim?
CR7.
I nailed it, didn't I, John?
Since sometimes, you know, we say we're going to get together on the weekend, on holidays, and we don't. I didn't turn anything on to let it warm up and chew up electricity, so I just came in and turned this on at the last minute.
I just want to point out how right I was at the beginning this morning, Jim, when I said you were sending us a signal out of the 70s.
I was sending a signal for what?
Out of the 70s.
I still didn't get that.
You were sending a signal from the 70s, from the, you know, when the TR7 was hot dog.
USL.
I'm Mike commented here again with the external box.
It's working very well, John.
Yes, it is.
I like it. It's fun to, you know, now I'll actually use the transceiver more because I don't have to push the foot switch to talk.
Yeah, it's a pretty foxy rig.
Foxy.
And I'm back. ES6LJ.
Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
Well, I hear a little splatter from down around.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Nothing here.
I hear it also, but then I've got this thing set on 6KC.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, you would. I'm just 2.2, something like.
You're kind of breaking up.
So somebody's moved in where I'm picking them up. Not very strong, but
Yeah, they're right below us, but they're pretty strong, but I'm not hearing them.
I'm not hearing them either, Dan. Yeah, my noise has gone up 1 unit, so I'm not hearing anything except you guys, and sometimes not you guys.
You really shouldn't be hearing them. They're on 28.15 or 38.15. I switched over the SDR to take a look, and then nice looking signal.
Sue, are you hearing voices? Not us? Sometimes.
a little ducky squawk.
Is that with or without your radio on? Sometimes.
It depends.
You know, when I was running in a contest yesterday, I was running about a 250 hertz filter, and I could be right up against somebody and not experience any blocking gain compression at all. Just, it was amazing.
Yeah, you know, the filtering is just so good.
Yeah, I was very impressed. I thought, wow, I know this is nice, but it still makes you spin your head sometimes like, wow, it really works this good. I seen one signal, John, that the guy was on for hours and hours yesterday. He would key up, you know, and there was a buzz in his signal, and I could see it on the waterfall, and it had railroad tracks around it. He definitely had a problem. I don't know what it was, but it sounded like he had like AC in his signal, and then it looked like railroad tracks on the waterfall.
Oh, it sounds bad. You know, there was a guy I was watching on, I don't know, 15 or 20 meters out there in the Caribbean. It's nice, strong spots, 40 meters in the morning. And just a horrible looking signal. He was out 4 kilohertz either side of center.
Oh my goodness.
And nobody said a thing.
Oh, that's gross.
It was huge, and you could even hear the distortion in his audio.
He must have had all the knobs turned all the way up.
Oh yeah, lots of background, really pushing the audio, but he didn't need to. I mean, he had great antennas, and I just don't understand it.
You know, the contest yesterday was the CQ contest from CQ Magazine.
Yeah.
Those guys have become proactive. They monitor the air the whole time, and they look for these signals doing that, and they disqualify them in the results.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because they want to promote signal purity. They don't want guys out there running everything hard, tearing up the band.
Ripping and snorting.
Yeah, they should do the same thing with the voice stuff.
Yeah, they should. I think they do. CQ Magazine they'll figure out who's running 5,000 watts. You know, they have the software to do it by comparing other stations in the area, and they'll disqualify them for too much power.
Well, you'd have to be local to do that.
The last big contest, they did that, and they took like 2 or 3 of the big contesters out of it.
Oh, California kilowatts allowed.
Well, you know, and the other thing about that, once that happens to you, especially if you're a big guy, everyone knows who you are, and everybody knows that you're a cheater.
You want to show up at Visalia.
I think that would be the terrible thing about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at the stations and see the Alpha 77 DXs, you know.
Yeah.
Running 5 kilowatts.
I'm going to change rigs here. Be back in a second.
You know, I mean, I'm all into them wanting to be competitive right up to seeing what they can almost get away with, like NASCAR does. But I'll do that again.
Hello, Jenny.
Now you kind of cleared out all of our ears.
Yeah, there you go.
He's still cleaning his out.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's no big deal. It was our entertainment for the morning.
Yeah, sorry about your ears.
Hey, I've got that on tape.
Headset on, and I turned the 9,000 on. And then I flipped the antenna switch, and all the audio came in and right into my mic, so.
I sure wish I could hear people better.
You know, Denny, I have that recorded what you did. I wish streaming would have been available back when Kelly was around. I'd have lots of great moments to make clips out of.
Oh, dear.
So what did you change to?
I'm on the SS9000.
Got it.
I was going to use it early this morning, and because of the woodpecker, I don't have any, noise reduction circuitry in the 9000, so I said, well, we'll use the headset in the Omni 6.
I mean, it has a noise blanker, but it's just good for things like electric fences and automobile ignition.
Yeah, pulse noise. So I then, and I forget that I had the Vox on, and Vox and it let it have it.
Sorry about the cough, guys.
Whiskey Baker 7 Echo Golf Golf.
Yeah, that'd be a 6DAX.
W6PJD.
KM60Q. I thought I had the cough button down.
Jay, you guys are getting mighty weak.
Had the wrong impedance selected.
Your signal's down, Sue, but we're still copying.
You had the wrong impedance selected, John?
Yeah, for the mic.
Ah.
There you go.
Yeah, but my noise level's going up, unfortunately.
You're still a good copy over here.
Yeah, you're fine, Sue.
Are you using the remote SDR?
No, not yet.
Gosh, I love it when the band is this quiet in the morning. This is great.
Yeah, it's really great.
It is wonderful.
The noise is not even tickling my S-meter.
Boy, since I got my flex back, I haven't even turned on my 7300.
I'm a happy camper this morning, especially after the woodpecker went away, because it was really obnoxious here. I'd have moved.
I haven't heard those guys up on 22.
Oh, that's all gone by the time we get on.
Well, I'm going to attempt to go walk out front and put my flag out right now.
All right, we'll accompany you.
Well, we'll see.
I hope the 9,000 sounds halfway decent.
Sounds great, Denny.
Thank you.
Punchy.
It deserves to be run more.
Oh, there goes all the bunny rabbits. I scared them off.
Oh. What do you call a group of bunny rabbits? You can't call them a covey.
I don't know. They're not bird.
Yeah, boy, you've got a lot of them over there. We don't have any here.
Take some home with you next time, John.
Jackrabbit?
You shouldn't have any up where you are, Jim, do you?
You get some of the long-eared thingies.
No, we do too.
I think we have
here.
animals around here that eat them, so they don't exist.
I think so here too.
We eat a bit of everything up here.
Now we have cottontails that live around here, and then we have a couple of jacks that show.
Yeah,
Jacks
mostly
are the
deer
long-eared
here and
thingies.
occasional bears.
Now we have bears, mountain lions.
Yeah,
Used to have
mountain
a lot
lions.
of fox, but there was a virus a couple of years ago knocked the fox population back.
I know
Well,
there
then
are
all the
foxes here too.
ground
I've seen
squirrels
those. That's probably what keeps the rabbit population, gone.
Probably, and coyotes, of course.
Don't hear many of those, but they do show up from time to time.
We have smart bears over here. They
They were brought up properly.
Is that where they put all the bad bears?
Where do they put the bad bears?
Yeah, from Tahoe.
Oh yeah, but they in the crosswalk on 395 down to Minden and went into the school.
Yeah.
And they wanted to get educated.
Those are the yellow snakes.
Yeah, your area does not look like a good bear area.
They come down the mountain from Spooner.
I would think it would be very almost unbearable.
Yeah,
Eat bud to the punch.
Oh, we reserve the right to arm bears.
Bud and Tootie like bears. They got a bear this, bear that.
Yeah, we're bear happy over here.
Yeah. The little decorations of the house, all the bear stuff. Very cute. We gave them a black bear when the original black bear coffee cups from the back.
Yeah, we use those too.
And I broke mine.
I'm using my Death Valley cup right now in honor of Jim.
I'm using my Stovepipe Wells cup.
I like Stovepipe Wells. That's great, Jim.
So do I.
I've got my mouth. It gets bright when you fill it up.
Oh, I've got a Black Bear Diner cup, but it's the new version.
I'm using my Alaska cup this morning.
Okay.
And I just want to say that any cup of coffee is good as long as it ain't Starbucks.
Hey.
Handmade pottery cup made by Wayne Chapman, God knows how many years ago. Beautiful piece of art, and I'm drinking the very last of the Major Dickerson out of the pot.
That's what I'm drinking, Sue, Major Dickerson.
I still have my Heathkit cup.
I ask you that, Bud. I sure wish I'd have bought one when I had the chance.
A Heathkit cup?
Yeah, it says a Heathkit insignia on it.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
On the Folsom Avenue and picked one up.
I wonder if they sell those on that site. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Well, I'll have to take a look. They sure got a lot more stuff on there now.
There you go, John. Open up a business and sell Heathkit cups.
They even sell parts for the newer old gear.
Well, that's a good idea.
I think we're going to make it a little solid-state transmitter.
Boy, I tell you, lots of people are making all that with little QRP transmitters, you know.
Oh, man, there's a lot of cool ones out there these days.
There sure are.
Lots of them.
Got the one from QSL Labs and QRT Labs or whatever it is.
QRP Labs, yeah, I've got one of their projects.
Fun.
Hello, one, two. Oh, good.
What I need is a little,
horrible.
a little amplifier kit so you can boost that thing up to 100 watts.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff available these days.
That's a big amplifier kit.
Pardon?
That's a big amplifier kit. There's a lot more to that.
Yeah, well, I need one that, you know, like I could feed my linear with. I like what you do.
Yeah, that worked out really well. That's just a repurposed FT1 12-volt PA with low-pass filter, and then I built the control circuit and, stuff for it, attenuator.
Yep. Well, you do wonderful wizardly things, John.
Oh, that just makes it easy. I did it just so I could, have a 5-watt drive at the time for the Annan and the G11. In fact, it started with the G11. I wanted to get that up to 100 watts. So now I have it, the attenuator set for about 1.5, a little less than 1.5 watts for 100 or 110 watts out.
Oh, okay.
You're the only guy I know, John, that could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's nothing special about doing it.
The Wizard of Placerville.
It's easy to do.
For you.
I could tell you guys how to do it, show you.
Oh, that's all right. I got enough to do now. I just wish they'd make a kit for that. So it's no big deal.
Well, you could buy a lot of those. You could buy, for example, switchable low-pass filters. All the relays are done. All the switching's done with a BCD input, so that's easy to do. And you can buy, 100 to 300 watt LDMOS transmitter board, and actually there's one out there that contains both.
You can buy a directional coupler. You can build your protection circuit. You can even find pre-built up protection circuits up on Evo Bay. AF6LJ.
Yep, it's all available. A lot of it's coming from the Ukraine, and it's very nicely done.
Well, I think if most of us could do that, most of us would.
Well, I mean, this is pretty straightforward. A lot of it's built for you, or it's all built. You just have to take their board and you can even buy the heat sink through them, put it in a box that you buy.
Yeah, I've looked at some of that stuff. It looks intriguing. But I would need like 5 parts, you know, so where after I make the first 3 mistakes and blow it up, and figure it out, I got the one that works.
Okay, well, like I say, it could come to you assembled and tested with the exception of the heat sink, but there again, for $35 you can buy, they'll deliver the heat sink with it.
Guys, I think I got a defective cup of coffee this morning. I'm going upstairs to get a refund, and then I think I'm going to go have a nap. K4CCF. We'll see you guys next week.
Hey, you take care of yourself. Okay, 73, Jim.
73, Jim.
Yep, see you later.
Take care, Jim. Have a good day. Nice signal this morning from you.
Well, thank you. Wish I'd had more to say, but, this defective cup of coffee is dragging me down.
I can understand that. Take care, Jim.
73, guys.
Yeah, have a great day.
Oh, well, that's saying that. I'm not going to be on next weekend either. I'll be on Sunday, but not Saturday.
Oh, what you doing?
We're going up and take a little raft ride on the Rogue River.
Oh, good for you.
We have a good friend that's a world-class rafter, and it's their anniversary, and they invited us to go along with them, and they do that every year. So, take a 9-mile ride down the Rogue and then stop halfway and pull in for lunch and have a sandwich or two and go on down to where we parked the other car and take the raft out.
Oh, what class rapids?
Not really much. Pretty smooth.
Oh, good. Yeah, that could be pretty dicey.
Oh, yeah, that certainly can. Especially if Lorena fell in, that'd be all over. Of course, she's definitely scared of water. I think she had nightmares about that when she was a kid. And anyway, we're going to do that, and then we're going to go to this really nice place at Mount Ashland called Callahan's, and we're going to spend the night, have dinner, and spend the night. And it's also my birthday, pretty close, so their anniversary and my birthday, and spend the night, and then come on back Saturday afternoon.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun, Denny.
I think we're looking forward to it.
Hey, you have a good time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sue.
Yeah, we'll be waiting a full report on Sunday.
Yeah. We'll do the best we can.
When are you leaving for your trip back east?
We'll be leaving here on the 9th.
Okay.
And we're going down to Sacramento. Spend the night in the Park and Ride Hotel, leave our car there, probably the Honda, and fly out on the 10th, and we won't be back till the 30th.
Well, wait for the plane.
I'll try that.
Hey, is that sack of tomato or septic tomato?
Either one you like.
Okay.
Yep. So, it's going to be, I'll be ready to come back, I'll tell you. I hope Son's going to take care of the lawn and make sure the sprinklers are running all right and stuff, and all the drip irrigation.
It's all automated, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yep, that's what we do here.
We'll just check on it periodically, and we'll have to push the mower around. You have that new lawn in front, and it's just gorgeous.
Oh, good.
You'll have my trailer space ready for me?
Yeah, that's there. Oh, and then the battery in the Honda failed Friday, so I went to Napa on Saturday and picked up a new battery for it, put it in. It was like almost 8 years old, so it was time.
Did you see that bill that's SB 910 that's slated to possibly pass?
What's it about?
But yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Well, it's about the power companies turning off power in areas that are prone to, where high winds are for the duration of the wind period, especially those that have overhead power lines or where they are. So, once that passes, you can expect that you're going to need a generator.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Well, I can do that.
Well, Jim is all ready.
Yeah, Jim's ready to go. We have overhead power lines coming up to the pole outside.
What are they going to do about people who have those dialysis machines and stuff that you have to have the power?
Yep, they're going to have to have an alternate source of power. Everybody will be informed in advance. Automatic system whereby it calls you on your cell phone or your home phone, whichever you have. Hopefully you have that. But I would expect somebody in that condition would definitely have an outside line. So hospitals will be informed, first responders will be informed, care facilities, all those get it first, and then the rest of the public gets informed, and then it's off.
What's the driving force behind that, Bill?
Wind-related fires, especially the one like the one over where my son lives in Santa Rosa. That was all extreme winds, and of course it blew trees into power lines, and it will definitely cut down on the number of fires related to that.
Yeah, the second largest fire in California history, which took place down here, was caused by downed power lines.
Yep, so it's good and bad. There's certainly going to be some changes. If I was in the generator market, I'd love it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people will be buying generators.
Yeah, their prices will go up probably. Looks like a trip to Oregon.
Well, in the end, that'll bring the prices down on generators for the rest of us.
Yeah.
It might, but at the beginning it'll raise the price.
Yes, it will.
Well, thank you for that information, John. Anyway, it's time for me to run, so just wish you all a happy Memorial Day and a happy week, and catch you later. WB7EGG Mount Shasta, we're listening out. Take care, guys. And Gil.
You all have a nice trip down the river. And I'm going to get out of here, too, get dressed, and then get the flag out, get some breakfast. So, Hour 73, happy Memorial Day to all.
Okay, you guys take care. Enjoy your birthday dinner there, Denny, too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you much. We'll let you know how it all goes.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun day to me.
Yeah, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you all later. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Hey, a 6L shave. Beautiful downtown South Park signing.
Take care, Denny. See you later, Sue. Have a good day.
Thank you all.
Yeah, I may actually go ahead and put a disconnect outside for the whole tower. I'd have to pull the meter out again and wire in a lever, real knife switch disconnect box for 200 amps.
Are you going to set something up to where it switches over automatically?
No, I don't have a generator like that. But I'd have to buy one, and we'll see how that works out. Right now, I have a new generator that I bought a couple of years ago that I've only used in trial that's worked perfectly, and
so you're
able to use that.
Your solar array is already in the circuit then?
Solar array I'd have to turn off if it was during the day. It'll cook the generator.
Yeah, so you'd have to have some way to... Well, I guess you could just switch it to your solar array then, or it's already on, isn't it? If you don't have... Like if it was to go out now, your solar...
Without the presence of pure sine at the correct frequency and phase. It's all microprocessor controlled, Dan. Every one of the mini inverters there are built with that information in mind, so they won't sync to a generator, or if they, I don't really expect it would sync to a regular motor generator, just because it's so imperfect in its frequency stability and so forth. If it did sync to it, then it would cook the windings in it.
I see. What happens right now when the power goes off at your house?
Solar goes off instantly.
It does.
Yeah, within just a few cycles, it's off.
And why is that?
Because it's sensing that. It's constantly looking to see if power is applied.
And it doesn't work if power is applied?
It works if power is applied at the correct frequency and within the proper voltage range, but especially the correct frequency.
So it looks at the incoming power to determine whether or not it should be on?
Yes, it's sampling that all the time, so there's no issue where you're going to have power applied to the backwards through the system and cause a problem with somebody trying to work on the lines. It shuts itself down. It waits for 5 minutes once everything is perfect again to reapply power.
I see.
If you want to have a system that is off-grid, then of course you have to have batteries, and that's many thousands of dollars for batteries.
What would happen if you put a cutout switch in to where if you lose power, then you still have power to your residence, but it wouldn't go beyond?
You couldn't. You'd have to have batteries, Dan. You would never run on solar directly.
Oh, okay.
You could, if you exceeded the current capability of the solar, which for me is probably about 22 amps at 240. If you exceeded that amount, then it like I say, it won't run anyway. But in a hypothetical situation, if you did, then you could possibly damage equipment because of the lack of regulation.
Oh, I see. Well, yeah, and batteries would be out because that would be expensive, and not just for the batteries, but you'd have to set up to maintain it and go through all that, and I wouldn't be interested in a battery storage.
I see battery storage. This is one of Tesla's ideas is to, have battery inverters that can be used with solar systems, and they're putting them in now. You pay for it, but you can do that, and if you're off-grid, you have to go that direction, but, you have a limited life. I think most of them are somewhere around 10 years, and you got to do it all over again.
Yeah, that's an issue. That's where the technology needs to improve if you were going to do that.
Yeah, so basically, my system's based on, having power and just pumping it back into the grid.
What are they using now for houses that are off-grid completely? Are they using like 6-volt batteries that are AGMs or something?
No, that Tesla's providing, a whole package that mounts on the wall. They're all lithium-based. But you could make them out of lead-acid batteries if you want. It's just the life is going to be a lot less. You're going to have to service them, and then you're going to have a stand-load inverter to be able to handle your maximum current. Those are usually noisy, RFI type noisy. So there's a lot of issues to deal with when you've decided to run off-grid.
So Tesla has come up with a lithium-based system?
Yeah, they're making them out where you live.
No kidding. I would think that'd be the way to go because you could change the batteries easily yourself.
The Tesla cars, when they're done with their life and put them into a life of home systems.
Oh, because there's still plenty of capacity left?
Yeah, so it's because they feel that there's still enough capacity left for a number of years of home use, where the automobile use is very demanding, lots of current over a short period of time.
Yeah, I could see that because then you could set those things up to where you could just take them in and out of your system easily enough. They're clean, they're light. That makes sense.
Yeah, they're not that light, but, you need to put them in a place that is easy access, and they could make it probably so that everything would connect pretty easily.
Yeah, I would think so. I've never seen the batteries in the Tesla. Are they like one big unit like you would see in a forklift, or are they separate batteries, in holders?
What I've seen look like all-in-one units that are wall-mounted.
What are they like in the car?
Oh, they're a bank of batteries. I think they're at least 277 volts.
What kind of battery case are they using?
They're water-cooled batteries.
Really?
I can run it through them, and a fan, and it has to run, the batteries has to run their own cooling system as well.
And all that stuff works. That's amazing.
Yeah, it all works.
So if you have a cooling fan go out on your batteries, it'll shut you down.
You have something like an inverter failure or something, you're done.
Yeah, wow. I'm sure that would be kind of rare with those things.
That's the same thing with the home system. You have an inverter failure, you're done. That's why microinverters are so nice on the, one for each panel, because if you have a failure, who cares? You just lost a panel output, not all of them.
Yeah, change it when you get around to it.
Yep, and it'll tell you which one it is in the system.
Nice. So each one's self-contained, just pull it out and put a new one in.
Everything unplugs, yep. You got a couple connections for the DC side, for the 36-volt side, that's unplugged. And then the output side's the same way.
Is there any concern about, in 5 years from now, not being able to find a direct replacement?
At this point, no. They just keep getting cheaper and smaller.
Great. All right.
Yeah, it's getting better and better. I think the inverters, since mine are only a couple years old, or 3, the oldest set, and the inverters are literally half the size now, same power.
Wow.
Well, the other ones weren't that big. But so far, no failures at all.
Yeah, it sounds like a nice way to do it. I'm going to put a couple of panels on top of my RV trailer just so I don't need to leave it plugged in anymore.
Day party for one of her friends, and all set up to be outside, so I think it's going to be a lovely morning. Then we're going to go to the cemetery after that.
Yeah, sounds like a nice day, John. I'm not sure we made any plans. We may go out for a hike this morning after breakfast and enjoy the nice day.
Okay, Dan, enjoy your day. Sounds like you're going to have a good time.
All right, John, good talking to you this morning. We'll look for you on Wednesday, so have a great day.
You too, Dan. W6DAX is clear.
7-3, John, KM60Q.